Hi, I'm Kate Raymond. I'm the CEO of Master Electricians Australia, and I'm sitting here today with Lindsay Adams, who is our keynote speaker at our upcoming member conference in Thailand. G'day, Lindsay. How are you?
Hi, Kate. I'm fantastic. Delighted to be here.
Thank you.
And really excited to be working with you and your members in Phuket.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be our keynote speaker. We are just absolutely pumped to have you come and talk to our members. Really interested. So, as our keynote speaker, what do you think members are going to get out of your talk when you're presenting to them?
Okay, so I'm talking about getting people to say yes when they would normally say no. Interesting title. And it's really about people, understanding people, bringing out the best in your people, and then connecting with other people. So if your members are employers and they want to motivate their staff and get them to do more, produce more, be more, then I'm going to give them some tips on how to do that. If your members sell products, and I think a lot of them do, and there's so many burning issues at the minute, around solar and whatever, I'm going to show them how to connect with their prospects so that they can hopefully make a sale and make it easier. And I've got a really simple methodology to do that.
Okay, sounds very interesting. And there's this cube thing here. Is that part of it?
That is part of it. So this little thing here is called the Discovery Cube, and it's based on the DISC assessment. Now, DISC is a 4-quadrant behavioural model, been around for a long, long time. And some people have heard of it and they go, oh, that old thing, but that old thing's very clever. And what I'm going to do is help your members understand, first of all, their own behavioural style, and then those of their staff, maybe their significant other, their partner. And then I'm going to help them identify how to quickly figure out where their customers or prospects fit, and then how to sell to them. And so it's a very simple model, yet very powerful.
That sounds really interesting, and a lot of our members, their partners are involved in the business as well.
Of
so
course.
When you run a business, it's not just you; it's your partner. And,
absolutely.
So that'll be really interesting. A lot of our members will be coming to the conference with their partners as well. So I think they're going to get a lot out of this.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. It's I've had a lot of fun with this over time. I've been doing this now for a lot of years. In fact, I first started working with this model in 2014. Sorry, 2004. 20 years ago.
20 years.
So
okay.
When I was a very young man, but again, the beauty of it is it's a simple model, yet it's very powerful. And if you know what to do, then it becomes almost second nature. And I'm going to show your members to know what to do. So when they walk away, when they come back to Brisbane or come back to Australia after the event, they can go right into their business and start using this stuff right away.
Great, so it's a real business tool.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. So I'm gathering that it's going to help them with their relationships in business. Yep. And I know that you often emphasise the importance of relationships, and that underpins everything in business. So why are strong relationships so essential, do you think?
Well, I mean, as you said, and it's what I say, relationships underpin everything that we do in business. So you have to get into relationship with your people, with your stakeholders, your customers, your boss, your underlings. If you want to be your business to be successful, you've got to be in relationship. I have an interesting history. I spent 18 years working in the tax office once upon a time.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me too. But I learned some amazing life lessons there, and one of which was if you want to, I was doing debt collection, and if you want to get money out of people, you have to become their friend first. Imagine being friends with the tax office.
Yeah, wow.
Trust me, it was an interesting learning. Picture this, I'm 20 years old, I'm at a guy's house, he owes us money, and I'm reading him chapter and verse from the Income Tax Act saying, you have to and you should have, and if you don't pay us, I have the power to seize your truck and sell it in payment of your debt. And he went, seize my truck. I said, yes. And he did a bit of a yawn, and he said, anybody who wants to seize my truck has to talk to me and my mate. And with that, he flicked the kitchen door, and there was the shotgun. And I looked at the shotgun, looked back at him, and I said, mate, I don't want to seize your truck. I'm just a young bloke trying to do a job here. And that's when I realised that being the enemy doesn't work. Yeah. You've got to get into relationship. And so fast forward a lot of years, now I'm teaching other people the importance of business relationships and how to connect with people quickly, and then how to get with them so that then maybe not your best friend, but you certainly have enough relationship that they'll feel comfortable that they want to work with you, do what you ask of them, or buy from you and buy lots of stuff from you.
And are there lines that, is there help to give our members who'll be at the conference around where some of those lines can be around the business relationship and where that kind of might cross too far over, or do you not see it that way?
Well, look, I think in any business sense, there's you've got to be careful where the lines are drawn. The most important thing is to quickly make the effort just to be a little like the other person. And if you're a little like them, subconsciously they will like you. They won't understand why, and yet they will. And we know, you've heard that old know, like, trust. When people know you, they begin to like you, and then they trust you, and then they'll do what you ask of them, or they'll buy stuff from you.
Interesting.
So it's a simple premise.
Yes, and the disc helps with that.
Absolutely, yeah. And so this little tool here, this cube, and everybody who comes along to the event will get a cube to take home, and I'm going to show them how to use it, and it'll become their second best friend, seriously. And I make the joke and I say, look, have this sitting on your desk, take it with you in the truck, and every time you meet someone new, you go, I went to this conference in Phuket, and this crazy guy told me, I've got to ask you 2 questions before we start. 2 questions is all it takes. And you can get a pretty good handle on how the other people like to buy, like to make their decisions, like to connect with others, whether they're detail people, whether they're big picture people. And so it's incredible what you can get from 2 simple questions and this little magic cube.
I can't wait.
It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. And it'll be, useful stuff. Like I say, they'll be able to, you can take this home and use it as soon as you get back to your workspace.
Really interesting. So another area is referrals. So we've heard one of the biggest mistakes that someone in business can have is not asking a customer for a reference or a referral.
Yeah.
So why do people hesitate to ask, do you think?
Yeah, it's a funny one. A lot of people are nervous about asking, and like what I teach people to do is to put a fence around it. So at the start of the job, they're going to signal and they're going to say, Kate, when I finish doing this installation, I'm going to ask you for a testimonial, but only after I've done a really good job for you and you're very happy with what I've done. Is that okay with you? And you go, well, yeah, I guess, provided you do a good job. And then it's up to your contractor or your member to go and do that good job. And then it makes it so much easier. They have total comfort because they've already spoken to you about it. And then when they come to you and they go, are you happy with the work? Oh, I love it. Great. What about that testimonial? Let's have a little chat about that. Maybe you know someone who could use our services. Would you be willing to refer us? And see, when you put that little fence around the transaction right at the start, it just takes the heat out of it. It's instead of going, well, Kate, what do you think of the work we did? Would you be able to refer us? You've set it up so nicely at the start that she'll be itching to say nice things about you.
I love that.
Provided you do a good job.
Yes, well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's right. The onus is on the person
sure, and
to
of
do
course,
the good job.
I know that your members do.
Of course, because they're master electricians. Yep.
Anyway, so it's simple stuff. Again, it's not rocket science, but it's just knowing the right words to use and the right time to use them.
That's invaluable. It really is. And so, what benefits do you see from the members who'll come along to conference? So they've got their cube, they're in the truck. How do you think that can help them? Do you think it's going to result in maybe it might not necessarily be more customers? Some of our members have so many customers they don't know what to do, but perhaps better experiences. Do you think as well?
Sure. Look, I think it's about getting into a relationship or maybe even enhancing the relationship.
Yeah.
And we know it's great if you've got a customer who wants to not only do business with you, but do business with you again and again.
Yeah.
And so your national advocacy manager, a guy called Chris Lehman, some of your members might know the guy, he used to be my electrician. And I met him at my local Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
That guy, I rang him on Boxing Day one year. I blew a circuit in the house. My dad tripped over a lead. It's Boxing Day. And I start ringing around. I'm getting guys on Fraser Island, mate, I'm fishing, go away, you know. This guy rang me and he said, had a couple too many sherbets, but I'll be there tomorrow. And he made the effort to turn up, fix my problem. It didn't take that long.
Yeah.
And I am now a loyal, follower of that guy and his business. Now he's no longer in that business.
Yep.
However, I'm still a client of that business.
Great.
Because of what they did, the relationship. And so think about that from your members' perspective. They've got a chance to get into a relationship, but it's about deepening and enhancing it so that they create loyal, profitable customers that come back time and time again. So when I think electricians, there's only one place I know to go to.
Yes, and that's the one where you had the great experience. That's fantastic. So Lindsay, you've given us some really good tips, or you will be giving us some really good advice about what to do that's right. What about when people do things that's not quite right, or they're in a situation and they really don't want to be in a relationship with that person anymore?
Well, I've got a great example. I went to a Chamber of Commerce meeting a couple of months back. I met this guy. It turns out he's a printer.
Yeah.
So I introduced myself. He said, so tell me what you do. And it's pretty, what's the standard question? You meet someone for the first time, you shake hands, hello, you exchange names, and typically you ask, what do you do? So I said to him, well, I'm a professional conference speaker. I run training seminars and workshops, do a little bit of coaching. And when I finished, he went for what I call the networking pounce. And he jumped straight on. He said, well, I'm guessing if you run workshops, you must print workbooks. And I said, well, actually I do. Great. I can do black and white. I can do full colour. I can print them. I can bind them. I can deliver them to your office. I can deliver them to your workshop. I can. My head was spinning. I don't think I even knew the guy's name, and he was full on trying to sell me something. And so you cannot do, you have to, you've got to get into a relationship first. You've got to, spend a bit of time finding some common ground, getting to know the other person. In fact, I've written a whole book about that topic. And so you've got to have visibility, then you've got to have some credibility before you can ask for referability or for the sale, right?
Yeah, I like that, credibility.
And so he was trying to jump from just barely being visible with me to straight over to making a sale. He had no credibility with me at all.
Yeah.
And so, it's always relationships first, sales second.
Got it.
Okay, so there's a big no-no that I stumble on a lot when I go networking.
Yeah, really interesting. And what about, so you're networking, you're at one of these functions, deep in conversation, you really don't want to continue the conversation. What's a really nice way
Had a couple
terminating
of those.
That conversation?
So it depends whether, it might be coffee, it might be a beer in your hand, might be a glass of wine, whatever. Yeah. And so you can say, well, Kate, lovely chatting with you. My coffee's empty. I'm going to go and get a top-up. Catch you another time. And then you turn your back and walk purposefully away.
Okay, yep.
Now,
don't wait for them to say, oh, me too.
Well, I have had that happen. A guy followed me around, seriously. And I'll give you another tip. If you go networking, never go networking alone, okay? So take a wing buddy with you and see here's how it works. Let's say you and I are wing buddies, and I say to this person over here, look, lovely chatting with you, got to go. And the other person then follows me to the coffee station. So my wing buddy at that stage comes up and taps me on the shoulder and goes, Lindsay, there's someone I need you to meet.
Yeah.
Come with me.
Love
and
it.
then both of you walk purposefully away and hopefully find someone that you can chat to.
And it's not a criticism of that other person, is it? Because it's just we've had a conversation and you need to work the room or meet some other people. It's not necessarily a criticism.
See, here's the thing, when most people go networking, they don't have a clear plan of action. So one of my simple teachings is go there with with the idea I'm going to have 3 meaningful conversations with 3 people I've never met before. Or maybe you want to meet with Kate Raymond and pitch her on an idea. So you're going to get your wing buddy to introduce you to Kate, and have your wing buddy say nice things about you. You never say nice things about yourself. Your wing buddy always says it for you, because they can say lots of things that you can't. I mean, if I came up to you and said, Kate, I'm Lindsay Adams, I'm the best conference speaker there is, you're going to go, give me strength. But if my wing buddy says, Kate, have you met Lindsay Adams? He's a cracking conference speaker. You should have him speak at your next event. Then you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you see the different approach?
I absolutely can. Yeah,
and
it's
so,
really good advice.
There's so many little nuances that you can do with the networking stuff. And again, it just comes back to that relationship piece. Really, it underpins so many of the things that we do.
I'm so looking forward to hearing more from you at our conference in Thailand. I'm looking forward to getting my takeaway cube and working it with all of my staff here at Master Electricians. So it's been great chatting with you, Lindsay. Thanks so much.
It's a pleasure. I look forward to working with you and your members.
Thanks.